Sebastian! Stop this madness. The Chantry cannot condone revenge, Sebastian.
It is my right, my duty, to show these assassins there is nowhere in the Free Marches to hide.
This is murder.
No. What happened to my family was murder. Even read, but you say you've killed them. You have my eternal gratitude, Surana. It is comforting to think my parents might now rest easily in their graves.
Who sent these mercenaries?
My family has ruled Starkhaven for 6 generations. We have enemies, but none who would identify themselves openly. A distant cousin of mine is claiming rulership now, but he is a bit simple. He can be no more than a pawn in this plot.
Surely you have a guess as to who was behind it.
My parents were always prudent in how they handled our nobles. They did not allow rivalries or resentments to flourish. The attack must have come from outside. Kirkwall is our largest trading partner. I came back here to find support for my claim, and perhaps for a clue as to who is behind this foul deed.
Why didn't your family's enemies hunt you down as well?
That's why I took the offensive. Thanks to you, those Flint Company assassins are no longer a danger. I'm the last of my line. Unless I survive, my family will have no justice.
Who are you exactly?
I am Sebastian Vale, Prince of Starkhaven. Her Grace might prefer I introduce myself as a brother in the Chantry, but I could not stay after what happened to my family.
Isn't that where the Circle Tower just burned down?
Yes. I believe that was part of the same strike against my family. In one instant, we lost our mages, our Templars, everyone my parents used to call on for protection.
30 people in this town would murder my family for traitor.
So, will anyone smite me if I tell you I killed the men who wronged your family?
Excuse me, who are... My post to the Chanter's Board? Did Her Grace let that stay? I thought for sure no one even read, but you say you've killed them. You have my eternal gratitude, Surana. It is comforting to think my parents might now rest easily in their graves.
Who sent these mercenaries?
My family has ruled Starkhaven for 6 generations. We have enemies, but none who would identify themselves openly. A distant cousin of mine is claiming rulership now, but he is a bit simple. He can be no more than a pawn in this plot.
Surely you have a guess as to who was behind it.
My parents were always prudent in how they handled our nobles. They did not allow rivalries or resentments to flourish. The attack must have come from outside. Kirkwall is our largest trading partner. I came back here to find support for my claim, and perhaps for a clue as to who is behind this foul deed.
Why didn't your family's enemies hunt you down as well?
That's why I took the offensive. Thanks to you, those Flint Company assassins are no longer a danger. I'm the last of my line. Unless I survive, my family will have no justice.
Who are you exactly?
I am Sebastian Vale, Prince of Starkhaven. Her Grace might prefer I introduce myself as a brother in the Chantry, but I could not stay after what happened to my family.
Isn't that where the Circle Tower just burned down?
Yes. I believe that was part of the same strike against my family. In one instant, we lost our mages, our Templars, Everyone my parents used to call on for protection.
Your parents probably don't care much at this point. But I hope you sleep a bit easier.
Yes, I hope I will. Thank you. Consider this in advance. When I have secured my lands again, you will be paid royally. Now, if you'll excuse me, I must meet with the Viscount and petition him for aid to a fellow city. I thought it would end here. That young lady, Hawke, she decimated Flint Company. No survivors. Yet, now that I know who sent them, it's harder to see their deaths as justice.
Death is never justice.
Hawke? We were just talking about you.
Saying good things, I hope.
Hawke asked diplomatically.
You know, I hate it when you do that.
Hawke muttered in an angry aside to the dwarf.
If, you two have a moment, I've learned who hired Flint Company. The Harrimans, a noble family of Kirkwall. They were my parents' allies. It's hard to believe they betrayed us like this.
I think I've met Lord Harriman.
Lord Harriman used to be a good man, but he became rather strange in his dotage. He died some years back. His daughter took over the family, Lady Johanne Harriman. They say she's become quite reclusive of late.
Any idea why they turned on you?
Money? Power? It's hard to say. Lady Harriman was always jealous of my family for being royalty when hers were mere nobility. But I can't imagine that pushing her into outright murder.
This is why the cycle of violence never gets broken.
You jest, but that's the truth. Give this up, Sebastian. Dedicate yourself to the Chantry as you swore.
I must speak with Lady Harriman and find out what drove her to this madness. But I am the last of my line. I should not go alone and make myself a target.
Why is everyone looking at me?
I don't know why Choir Boy here didn't yell Hawke to the rescue. That's clearly what he was going for.
If this allows Sebastian to make peace, it is worth doing. You've taken on lesser causes.
Please. I have no one else to turn to. If you like, I can travel with you until you confront Lady Harriman. Otherwise, you can always find me here in the Chantry. That's strange. The door's wide open, and not a single guard posted. This is not the Lady Harriman I remember.
More! You lazy son of a bitch! What's taking so long?
Flora?
Why does no one in this house care what I want? More wine, or I swear I will drown you in the dregs.
She doesn't even see us. This is no normal wine.
More logs. It must be molten. You, more coins. I want every scrap of gold in this house.
Please, monsieur!
There's nothing to fear. You'll be beautiful. Pour it over her.
Don't! You'll kill her! He can't hear me.
Perhaps I should be the one.
We must end this madness.
Oh! Lower. Lower.
I beg your pardon, Hawke. I did not mean to expose you to such things.
No, the feather. Use the feather. Where have you been all my life? Today, I am more than a man. Come, felicitate me.
He has no idea we're here. I've known Ruxton Harriman my whole life. He's a complete prude.
Where's your brother? Let's ask him to join us.
Turn back. There is nothing here for you.
Odd. When we watched you being a drunken ass, you ignored us completely.
You shall not enter.
You must give me more. Starkhaven will not submit. I put that idiot Goran Vale into the prince's seat, but the other families won't heed him. I must marry him to Flora and solidify our hold. But I need more power.
I've given you much. Your desires run deep. You've already traded your husband and your children. What more can you offer?
At the Blooming Rose, 50 silver's standard for a whore.
You'll hardly find my services standard.
Who is this? Who are you? How did you get here? Sebastian!
You were my mother's friend. How could you murder her?
Such an ugly word. I prefer remove the only obstacle between her and her dreams.
This was your idea.
I could create such desires if I wished, but it's far easier to nurture those that already exist. The desire for power is easy to find. You and your friend both possess it, do you not? You both wish to rise.
Not if it meant selling out my family.
How loyal were your friends to you? Everyone has a price. Everyone wants something.
Do not listen to her.
Oh, such a pious soul, masking so much ambition. Are you so different from my lady? You yearn for the same lands, the same power.
I am the rightful heir. She is a usurper and murderer.
You swore to put aside worldly goods and ambitions, but they couldn't stop you from wanting them.
You'll be a good ruler. It doesn't matter what you do to get there.
I'm not acting from ambition. I only want what's best for my people.
For the people who'll adore you. All those smiles they used to save for your brother. Now you'll be the shining prince. All you have to do is kill anyone in your way.
Silence, Temptress. Your whispers led our allies astray. You're the only one I must kill.
Sebastian, I am so sorry is such an inadequate word. When I think what Mother made us do, what those creatures made us do.
We were friends, Flora.
It was like a cloud came down on me. All I could feel or think was what the demon allowed.
Was your mother a mage? How did she find this demon?
We've never had magic in our line. Perhaps that made Mother too confident. She thought she could deal with a demon and not fall prey to it.
Right. It is demons who should be feared, not mages.
Those ruins there were unearthed when we expanded the house. Mother found the demon inside. I think she had signed her bargain before we even knew.
Did your mother order the attack on Sebastian's family?
She did. You know Mother, Sebastian. She was always jealous of your parents. The demon twisted that until it was all she could think of. She was determined to seize Starkhaven for herself.
Don't blame your mother. The Desire Demon made this happen.
I doubt many people will be so forgiving. If it takes every last coin my family owns, I will make reparations to everyone we've wronged. Starting with you, Sebastian. We weren't the only ones vying for Starkhaven. If you face more opposition, you have my support.
It will not make up for what happened.
No, that's true.
I'll tell you when I need you. I had hoped prayer might cleanse me of the Desire Demon's touch, but I still hear her voice so clearly. I feel like I've bathed in filth that will never come off.
You acted honorably. Why are you ashamed?
The demon didn't lie. I used to be bitterly jealous of my brother. I wanted to be prince. Now everything he had is mine. And he lies in ashes. I keep asking myself, do I want this because it's right? Or simply to have what I never thought I could?
Aren't you your parents' heir?
I'm the youngest son of 3. My parents were rather traditional. They wanted the heir and the spare, and I was left in the cold. They put me in the chantry to prevent my competing with my brothers.
You seem very dedicated to the Chantry. You were put there against your will?
At first. But it was the best thing that could have happened. I was a wild boy, a shame to my family. The Chantry made me a man. It's odd. When I wanted to rule, I would have been terrible at it. Now that I might be decent, I don't know if it's the right thing to do.
It's the wisdom not to want power that lets you use it wisely.
You didn't feel what that demon stirred in me. It cannot be right to lead any army to Starkhaven with such doubt in my heart. I owe you more than I can say, Hawke. I will offer my service to you here before I move on.
Killing a few hundred more bandits ought to help you make up your mind.
You do have a unique way of working out your inner struggles, Hawke. Enough of this. I will make no decision today. Do you never intend to give a public answer, Your Grace?
What have I been asked?
About the mages. You could calm this fire if you stepped forward.
The Chantry's teachings are clear. Those who turn against them would not listen more to me than to Andraste.
Mage this, Templar that. Is there anywhere in Kirkwall people don't talk about this?
No, and I've looked, believe me. Even the rats in Darktown are following this mess.
The last time mages rebelled against the Chantry, they ended up ruling Tevinter. Should we just ignore them?
Well, if it's not too much trouble.
I did not expect things to deteriorate so fast. I thought after the Qunari, no one would wish for more violence. It has drawn more attention than I would like. Sebastian, if I can ask...
Anything, Your Grace.
And the champion too, if you will?
I can't imagine any way this will go wrong.
What would you have of us?
The Divine is concerned about the situation here. She does not want to see the Free Marches become another Imperium. She has sent an agent to assess the danger. Meet with her, please. Tell her drastic measures won't be required.
I don't want to see the Divine's armies march against Kirkwall.
Could we keep the Exalted marching to a minimum? I keep all my stuff in Kirkwall.
Surely the Divine wouldn't treat the whole city as enemies.
She is concerned. It is never wise to draw the concern of the powerful.
She is the voice of Andraste. She cannot turn the might of the Chantry against the innocent due to proximity.
Were no innocents harmed in the Exalted marches? She will do her best, Sebastian. But she must act first to protect the faith.
What can you tell me about this servant of the Divine?
I was not told her real name. Only to call her Sister Nightingale. She is said to be the Divine's left hand. sent to do work that might blacken the Divine's name.
What argument would convince her?
The Divine has heard my protests already. I must trust your own powers of persuasion now.
This cannot wait.
Thank you. We cannot allow this ridiculous Mage rebellion to turn into holy war.
The agent, Sister Nightingale, will be waiting in the Viscount's throne room tonight. She wishes to remain unseen. The room has been sealed since the Qunari incident. It may be difficult to get in without attracting attention.
So, even the Divine fears us now. She should. Kill the spies!
The Resolutionists. I might have known they would be part of this. Who are the Resolutionists? An offshoot of a fraternity within the Circle of Magi. There have always been factions that support freedom from the Chantry, and the abolition of the Circle. We have tolerated them, but the Resolutionists have become violent. They are likely behind the unrest here. Are you Sister Nightingale? I am. Or you may call me Liliana. The Divine sent me to investigate the possibility of a rebellion here in Kirkwall.
Without informing the guards, of course.
This is an unconventional situation. I have some experience with those. The Liliana, who accompanied the hero of Ferelden to slay the Archdemon. Ah, I see it will be harder to remain anonymous so near the Ferelden border. Yes, I knew the hero of Ferelden. Perhaps you have heard the songs I wrote of our time together. But that was many years ago. I am working for the Divine now, in Orlais. I had not thought to return to this part of Thedas. I hardly imagined the Divine's secret agent looking like you. That is why I am effective. The Divine has long suspected that Kirkwall's problems were spurred by an outside group.
Like any mage with a brain can't come up with, let's rebel.
And prove the Chantry's point by unleashing demons. Don't forget that part.
This attack proves she is right.
Are you saying you set this whole thing up?
I let word slip that an agent of the Divine was coming to investigate the Mage troubles. It is how they chose to react which condemns them.
Will the Divine send soldiers?
Divine Justinia takes the situation here very seriously. She believes it is the worst threat to Thedas since the Qunari invaded.
A handful of apostates? How can that possibly...
The whole world is watching Kirkwall. If it falls to magic, none of us are safe.
None of you?
Tell Elthina to leave. There is refuge for her at the Grand Cathedral in Orlais. She will not be safe here.
What would you say to an exciting trip to Orlais? I hear the Grand Cathedral's lovely this time of year.
What?
You were right. The Divine will be taking action against Kirkwall, though the sister didn't say what. You must take the holy relics from the Chantry and leave for safety.
Sebastian, I'm surprised at you. Andraste would not thank me for saving a few dusty finger bones and my own skin at the cost of people's lives.
You keep dead people here?
The Kirkwall Chantry has guarded the remains of the martyr Devrina for 800 years. They must be protected.
When I became Grand Cleric, I took a vow to the people of Kirkwall and the Free Marches. I will not leave my flock.
Would you let yourself die?
There is no greater devotion than to lay one's life at the Maker's feet. There is no better death than to take the blow for another.
Sister Nightingale took a great risk to warn you. Don't be rash.
Please, Your Grace. Sister Nightingale thinks there will be war.
Then, I must make peace. Settle yourself, Sebastian. I'm in no personal danger. I am Grand Cleric. Who would dare attack me?
If you will not shield yourself, then I will be your shield. You will come through this safely by the Maker's name. I swear it. If Althena won't leave Kirkwall, neither will I. I can't abandon her when the Divine's own agent warned her away.
The Grand Cleric is lucky to have your loyalty.
She'd be luckier were I willing to hit her over the head and carry her away. This isn't her battle. But if these Maleficarum rebel against the Knight Commander, Althena will put herself between them and be torn apart. I must try to make her see reason. This cannot end well.